All right, now being about 5:40, I'll call the Monday, January 6th meeting of the Board of Selectmen to order. First item on our agenda is a report on the warrants paid. So the total is $26,385.50, and it's for a variety of invoices: Eversource, Wind River, Area 58, KP Law, Columbia Gas, Santoros, and US Bank, Santoros. So the total on all of those, once again, is $26,385.50.
And Santoros, just to give you a heads up, is the sheriff's department getting lunch.
Yeah, they're, the sheriff's department is doing a lot of work upstairs, painting, and that is a very small price to pay for the excellent work that they're doing, and
They
really,
did a great job.
yeah, getting it squared away up there. Okay, second item is Conservation Commission membership number reduction.
So we were looking to reduce the number of members via vote of this board from 7 members to 5 members. And I would note for the record that the 5 members that are remaining will be Rick Burnett, Amy Cronin, Marta Nover, Michael Mattern, and Linda Letty. And the other 2 people have left town.
Okay. And this is because they're having quorum issues and having difficulty getting new
Yes,
people.
this will be a lot easier for them,
manageable.
more functional.
Yep, all right. All right, so I'll make a motion that we reduce the membership number from 7 to 5 for the Conservation Commission.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, so we've got some appointments.
We have
Bree?
to sign something with that?
No, council didn't seem to think that it required much more than a formal vote.
Okay,
Okay.
we had already voted on those at our last
So
meeting.
this is just a...
Yep, those are just to sign, and
this
that's
too?
just to sign. All right, this is for Rob to make him so he's no longer the interim, but he's the highway superintendent.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion that we appoint Rob Furlot, the highway superintendent, until June 30th, 2020.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. He doesn't need to be re-sworn in, right? It's just a title change.
It's just a title change, but we'll send him to the town clerk's
Just to
office
be on the safe side. Okay,
make
perfect.
sure he's covered.
Okay. All right, and then we've got license renewals, Bree?
We do. These are all Class 2 licenses. Not everybody. Do you want them one at a time?
Yeah,
like
why
you
don't we
did
do one
before?
at a time?
So you won't miss. Angels Towing, Angels Towing and Car Repair, I think it is.
Okay, the first one is Angels Auto and Towing.
Auto and Towing, thank you.
87 County Road in Plympton. This is a Class 2 license with the following conditions: 15 cars for display in front of fence. All conditions imposed on tenants Class 2 deemed are incorporated as conditions on license holder's Class 2 license. License holder shall enforce violations against his tenant's Class 2 license conditions. The provisions of the Town of Plympton bylaws are incorporated as conditions by reference. License holder shall mark the property boundary for the purpose of a 6-foot setback. Conditions subject to change with 30-day notice from the Selectmen. Must comply with all pertinent MGLs. No Sunday or holiday hours. Premises are to be kept clean and orderly. And that would be dated today through December 31st of 2019. So I'll make a motion that we grant... 2020, a secondhand used car dealer's license to Angels Auto and Towing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And Mark had reported at our last meeting that he had gone by these and checked them out to make sure they were still in compliance with the conditions.
Carrie's?
All right. Carrie's doing business as Carrie Auto. Application for a Class 2 license, 37 County Road. It is a 4,000, oh, we gotta sign more of them, thank you. 4,800 square foot building on County Road, north side, 2 large overhead doors facing east with fenced-in area. And the conditions are maximum of 1 car. Premises are to be kept neat and orderly. Conditions subject to change with 30-day notice from Selectmen, and must comply with all pertinent MGLs and town bylaws. I'll make a motion that we grant a Class 2 license to Michael J. Carey, doing business as Carey Auto, Inc.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. So there's actually 2 spots we've got to sign.
Yes. Please.
Is it for all the local needs?
All right, so did those 2 return? Thank you. Okay, Competition Auto Body, Roger J. Randolph, doing business as Competition, 337 Main Street, Plympton, and 341 Main Street, Plympton. So, corner of Route 58 and Pleasant Street, approximately 1.5 acres of land, described in Book 1713, page 344, Book 39846, page 93, Plymouth County Registry of Deeds. The conditions are as follows: no vehicles be parked to obstruct the view of traffic entering or exiting the premises. No more than 25 vehicles for sale, no cars to be displayed on Pleasant Street. Premises must be kept neat and orderly and confined to southerly front section and entire rear part of the garage with office on southerly side. Conditions subject to change with 30-day notice from the Selectmen. Must comply with all pertinent MGLs and town bylaws. Make a motion that we grant a Class 2 to Roger J. Randolph, doing business as Competition Auto Body, with the conditions noted.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye. There's 2 here.
Okay. All right, so there's Competition. All right, this is Plympton Sand and Gravel, 190 Brook Street, Plympton. All right, this is to John Norrie, David Norrie, and Ann Norrie, with the following conditions: maximum of 5 cars for display at one time. Conditions subject to change with 30-day notice from Selectmen. Must comply with all pertinent MGLs and town bylaws. No Sunday or holiday hours. Premises to be kept clean and orderly. I'll make a motion that we grant a Class 2 license to Plympton Sand and Gravel with the conditions noted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Take those.
Oh, take all the paper clips, there you go. Okay. Up into 2, Inc., 97 County Road. I think these are the, this is the gentleman at the motorcycle area, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so address is 97 County Road, Route 106, approximately 3.5 acres of land, in Book 31897, page 83, Plymouth County Registry of Deeds, with the following conditions. The license pertains to the sale of motorcycles only. Repairs as well as the sale of any other type of motor vehicles are excluded. There shall be no outside display of motorcycles for sale. Sales shall be internet-based only. There shall be no more than 10 motorcycles for sale at any given time. Exterior premises must be kept neat and orderly. Conditions subject to change with 30 days written notice from the Board of Selectmen. Licensee must comply with all pertinent MGLs and town bylaws. Make a motion that we grant a Class 2 license to Up Into 2, Inc., with the conditions noted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, there we go. Great. I think that's it.
what are we on to next?
Now, business report.
Okay, so earlier today, I had a meeting with BAT, with Brockton Area Transit, and it was myself and Charlie Seelig from Halifax. And what we found out is that they have a couple different tiers as far as involvement that they might be able to have with towns such as ours. The kind of first intro level of involvement would be helping us build our volunteer driving base. And that would involve them helping us coordinate with MassDOT to work on like training initiatives. And basically that helps you out, from my understanding of it, on the insurance end of things, making it so that these volunteers who are transporting people around are able to be covered under the town's policy because they've had some sort of formal training. So they help you coordinate that. They can also kind of walk you through the insurance side of things. But that's basically the minimal kind of level of involvement.
Now, each of these has a charge to us?
They do. They didn't talk numbers really.
Okay.
I think some of what would come into play there would be the assessment as far as the train station, and some of those funds may be able to be allocated for this purpose. So we didn't really get into cost, but they seemed well aware of the assessments for both Plympton and Halifax and willing to work with us on that. A mid-level of involvement would involve them coordinating with MassDOT to actually get us more vehicles to be utilized for the volunteer drivers and everything. Or there's more formal involvement, which would obviously be like identifying a particular bus stop, or these days we have BAT personnel that are transporting people. So the long and short of it is that much of their funding is from MassDOT and the federal government, and they need a lot of numbers to back everything up. So Charlie and I have to kind of go back to the drawing board and figure out what our demand really is. They're going to work us through that and kind of give us some tools so that we're not, chasing things down that are trip specific, but more looking at, and I don't know the easiest way to go about this, if we survey people or if maybe just through a few council on aging meetings, or maybe even putting something on social media. It's not just seniors that would be targeting. So putting something out there and saying like, if there were a ride available to you to go into downtown Brockton on a particular day, would you be interested, and is there a certain day of the week? Or if there were one day a week, if we could get people to South Shore Hospital and you knew that the ride would leave the Plympton Halifax area at 6 a.m. and would return back to that same spot at 4 p.m., would there be a demand for that? Like they said, it's better if you kind of narrow it down like that and pick a few places.
So will they go outside their zone, for instance, to Kingston or Plymouth?
They didn't say that they wouldn't, but it sounded like for that, the impression that I got was that it was more, that would be your volunteer drivers. And they'll help you coordinate them and come up with routes and work you through the insurance aspects and everything. But it didn't sound like they would physically be driving you down there. It kind of, I think, for Charlie and I, refocused us a little bit because they were very interested in what we've been talking about with the Council on Aging and regionalizing some of the services. Halifax hired their person, so we're going to be moving forward with that. And they seemed more interested if we looked for maybe a third partner, maybe like Hanson or something like more bringing it this way, because BAT's service area is more in that direction. And I guess they have a pretty well-established program in Hanson right now. They have a lot of drivers going there. It's not so much like large scale, like the big buses, but there's a lot of smaller vans and everything, which is also easier to find drivers for because it doesn't require the CDL license. So they said that we should definitely contact Hanson and find out what they're doing, and maybe they can also help us work through some of the numbers. They also encouraged us to continue pursuing GATRA, because they said they're kind of coming up from the South Shore, and they may be a better fit for us. So they were very nice, very informative, but didn't want us to feel like they were trying to steer us in any one particular direction. They said, you know, by all means, you should continue communicating with GATRA and kind of figuring out what's the best fit for your two towns.
Sounds like you had a positive
It was
meeting.
positive.
Yeah.
It was positive. So there'll be some follow-up with them. Kelly, that you had put us in touch with, she was unable to be there today. So it was their CFO and their administrator that we met with. So they're going to have us get back in touch with Kelly, and she's going to walk us through
Good.
kind of how to come up with some of this data now
Great.
that we...
And you're probably going to need the same information for GATRA too, so.
We will ultimately. It's just more of a question of how do we harvest the information.
Yeah. Right.
And kind of reach a more broad scope than just the Council on Aging. So that was it for that meeting. John and I had a meeting at the Plymouth Area Chamber of Commerce this morning, which I thought was very successful. And the takeaways from that are that they could assist us with providing support letters for either GATRA or BAT.
Nice.
So they're willing to do that, and they said they would get those over to us within a week or so. They also said that they could be helpful with some of our smaller businesses in terms of highlighting them a little bit more throughout the region. Or if a new business were to come here, they could do kind of a grand opening or something like that. They were very interested in hearing about Cisco and Hubble, and we're going to be putting them in touch with their HR people so that they can work with them on some recruitment initiatives and that sort of thing. So it was helpful, and I thought it was a good meeting all around.
Yeah, that was very positive.
Yeah, sounds really good.
Yeah, it was very positive. And otherwise, we're gearing up for the budget process. We start meeting with FinCom next week. So that's moving along. And otherwise, we set and advertise the right of first refusal hearings for the Harju properties for Monday, January 27th, for that particular meeting. So those newspaper ads have been running. And that's all set and scheduled.
Great.
For correspondence, we have a letter here from Chief Silva from the Fire Department. He expects his crews to be able to move into the station sometime later this week. As such, he is requesting that the trailer out front please be declared as surplus property and made available for sale.
Hallelujah.
So that I would just ask if you could take a vote to declare it as surplus, just so we can.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we declare the, would it be the fire station trailer?
Yes.
The fire station trailer as surplus property.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We have a formal notification letter here that we were successful in our pursuit of the Small Town Housing Choice Capital Grant in the amount of $93,000. And that is for the consultant who helped us with the application to essentially work with our town center campus committee and generate a master plan for our town center that can take a look at housing opportunities on site here.
When will that start? Is that something we should be planning for the next campus meeting? Or?
So we're going to sign up the contract today.
Okay.
It goes through June of '21.
Okay.
So we have a while to work through this, which is nice, I think, for the campus committee. So it should be on their radar, but I don't think you need to do anything at your next few meetings.
You meet tomorrow, don't you?
We do.
So, let's see, well, I'll put the contracts off for a second. We received a notification that the library is in receipt of an anonymous donation of $1,000.
Very nice.
So that's very nice. And then there was the Plympton Halifax Express, which contained Tales of Old Plympton, some great photos and information from the COA holiday dinner, and some more of Barry DeCristofano's very interesting astronomy. And then we have here a couple different contracts from the state. John, I just need your signatures in a few places.
Okay.
But if you want to vote formally, maybe that's good. We can do them one at a time. One is to execute the contract with the Commonwealth for the Council on Aging van.
Van?
The van.
Van, yeah.
Yes.
I'll make a motion, excuse me, that we execute the contract with the Commonwealth for the Council on Aging ban.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And then the other one is to execute the contract for the Housing Choice Grant.
I'll make a motion that we execute the contract for the Housing Choice Grant.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And that's it for my updates.
Great.
May I squeeze in one more?
Sure. One more license?
He was in the hallway.
Okay.
Yes, so we got another one. Sorry about that.
So, this is Brandon Berry doing business as Plympton Cycles, 87 County Road in Plympton. The premises are the paved area in front of the building at 87 County Road. The conditions are a maximum of 10 motorcycles on display at one time. Motorcycles to be aligned in front of and behind gas pump island. No motorcycles to be parked to obstruct the view of traffic entering or exiting the premises. Driveways to remain clear. Premises to be kept clean and orderly. Conditions subject to change with 30-day notice from Selectmen. Must comply with all pertinent MGLs and town bylaws. Make a motion that we grant a Class 2 license to Brendan Berry doing business as Plympton Cycles with the noted conditions.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
All right, thank you, John. All right, so board's goals, long-range master plan for town campus. The committee has already been meeting and are meeting again tomorrow. Liz, you touched on the shared services that we're working with Halifax on and possibly Hanson. We've reported a couple of grants that we've acquired. Liz reported that we'll be working with Finance Committee starting next week in the budget process. We will be exploring affordable housing opportunities and use of town-owned land as part of the grant that we discussed for some affordable housing for seniors, if that works into the plan.
On affordable housing, I wasn't able to make that meeting today with the Old Colony
Okay.
Economic. I started from Plymouth after our meeting, and I had to use the vehicle out here. And all of a sudden I had a low tire and an engine light.
Oh, no!
So I decided I wasn't gonna.
Go home, yes. Now we're going to get stuck in Brockton.
So the car is back and we ought to have it
Service
checked out.
possibly?
You might
I'll talk to
talk
Matt.
to Matt, yeah, because I'm not sure what's going on with it. And it smelled like it was OE.
Oh, that's no good. All right.
Did you make, I saw your note that you were connecting with Amy?
Yes, I'm going to connect with Amy. I thought maybe she and I could just get together and kind of informally talk, and
I think
then
that's a great idea.
maybe get some ideas together, and then we could follow up on those with the full board at a
think
regular
that's a
meeting.
great idea.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. So I haven't heard back from her, but I'm sure I will.
Okay.
We continue to support Liz's goals, protecting town's natural resources and unique character, and encouraging fiscally sound governments. So our next date is going to be the end of the month, the 27th, at which time we'll be having the public hearing for the right of first refusal on the Harshu property. And I don't know what else we've got scheduled that day so far. So the townhouse will be closed on 12/20 in observance of Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So we have got some minutes, John. I don't know if you got a chance to read them.
I looked at some. We'll
So
talk
we had
about this
some-
later, but we can continue to get these a couple of hours before the meeting.
So we've got the 12-2, which I think you wrote those.
The first one I have is actually the executive session on November 18th.
So we did not vote on those from last time.
I don't believe we
I
did.
thought we
Okay.
voted on those on 12-2.
Okay, can we check that?
I thought that we were up
here,
until, caught up
that's right.
until December.
Well,
Okay,
December
then-
2, there's no note of any meeting, any minutes being voted on.
Oh,
So I don't,
Okay.
maybe we didn't.
I
okay.
don't think we did, because I
Okay.
put them in because
Okay.
I
Yeah,
made
you know,
up
I
the
had
map.
printed them out
After.
too, because I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so you ready to vote on those?
Yeah,
Executive?
This is the executive session from 11:18.
right.
Make a motion that we accept the minutes as written.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and then,
Next one was November 18th regular meeting.
yep, regular session.
Monday.
And I didn't see anything with those. Did you
I
see
didn't see
anything with those?
anything.
Okay.
I'm
It
on
was short
that.
and sweet.
All right, I'll make a motion that we accept the regular session minutes from 11:18 as written.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, aye. All right, so 11:18. So now we're on 12:2, which you wrote.
That's executive, right?
No,
No,
there
this is-
was no executive on 12:2.
No, this is just regular open meeting.
Because I printed out the agenda from 12:2 because I wasn't
Oh.
sure, and there was no executive session.
Okay.
So we can just cross those off. So it's just regular session on 12:2. I thought they looked good.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion that we accept the regular session minutes from 12:2 as written.
Second?
All in favor?
Okay.
Aye. Okay, so that's 12:2. And then 12:16, John, are the last ones.
I just glanced at this, I really,
I thought that they looked okay. I mean, if you want, we can hold them.
no, that's fine, if you feel,
The only thing that I would like to change on these is I would like to designate what type of license they had for liquor license. So the club, I believe, has a club license. The
Sure.
Plympton Gas and Convenience, I believe, has a beer and wine or a malt and wine.
Sure.
And then the Plympton Convenience has an all...
License.
Yeah,
Oh,
full
full
license,
license. Sure.
yeah. So that was my only recommendation, was
Did you
to
write
change
it on
those.
there a little bit? Just so I can, did she write it in that, what you
I did.
wanted?
Yeah.
Okay, oh, good.
so I'll make a motion that we accept the minutes of December 16th as amended.
Okay, I'll
Yeah.
second.
All in favor?
Aye, perfect.
So you made that motion.
So,
So that brings minutes.
so we're up to date. So you have any rants and raves?
I really thought of it, but you know what? I thought the meeting today with the council kind of showed that Plympton, even though it's very small, has lots of resources if we know how to go out and touch on them. And I think that's where Liz is really helping us, so I'm a rant for you, a rate for you? Not a rant, a rate.
A good rant.
Good rant. Yeah. So I was very pleased. I think the only thing I'm worried about is we got so many balls in the air that...
We have a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. My rave would be town meeting and how we had a good turnout.
I guess.
And that we got the funding for the Council on Aging ban, which is something that's going to be so important to the community. And the streets, too, the designation that we'll be able to create safety zones. That was nice that was so well. I mean, everything just went over so well. I was very pleased
I
that...
think it's, kind of a testament to everybody who's working on the boards because, boy, there's no opposition.
Well, it's not like it used to be.
No.
It's just, we've got a very good group of people who are doing their homework and making presentations that
Yeah.
make sense to
Yeah.
the residents, and there's a level of comfort and trust with it, and so it's, we've come a long way.
I thought Barry in his suit and sneakers looked great. He did a great job.
Fantastic. He did look fantastic and did a great job
He did.
for his first
He did.
town meeting. So it's kind of nice to get that under his belt before the
Yeah.
annual. So
Yeah.
he did a great job. That was a lot of fun. But so that's it. So we won't meet again until the 27th.
Okay, at what
Unless-
time?
I think it's,
We may have an executive session
yeah, I
that
think we're
night,
going to
so
have
probably
it at
5:30.
5:30, yeah, 5:30. And then I think the Haju hearing is 7, is that correct, or is it 6?
6:30 and 6:35.
Okay, all right, so those will be just kind of during the heart of the meeting. All right, very good, so yeah, if you need us to sign anything, just let us know, and
Oh, yeah, I should be
otherwise we'll
signing
see
something for the
you.
warrants with markup. We all
Yes, you'll
set
go
that?
into, Christine will have that all ready and labeled for you to sign when you go into the treasurer collector's office.
Okay, so should I
Does he
do
need
it
to do
tonight?
that
or-
tonight?
I don't think they have it on Mondays. I think they do that, is it Wednesdays that
Well,
Mark
is it
comes in?
payroll? I'm not sure. You could stop in, John,
Okay,
Yeah, ask her.
and see. I'm not sure if he does that on Monday. Sometimes it was Monday morning.
okay.
Okay, all right, being that we've got no other business, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Good night,
Good night, thank you.
Happy New Year.